Alright, so we're continuing from last class, what we were doing with your, not animal behavior, EPDs, continuing with our definitions.
Okay.
So we're talking about scrotal circumference.
Oh.
If you guys remember that Mr. Forrester said, which is true, when we talk about bulls, the bigger the better.
The bigger the better?
The bigger the better with scrotal circumference.
What?
Scrotal circumference. So what's the scrotum?
I can't write and talk at the same time. Like,
That's
like
fine.
focus on that.
That's
like,
fine. Go ahead and focus on that.
Sorry.
What's the scrotum, Logan?
It's an area.
It's an area. Kind of uncomfortable to talk about.
1/4.
That's high.
Circumference.
The scrotal circumference is the sac that protects the testicles, right?
Yes.
So the bigger the scrotal circumference, then the bigger the testicles, the better off the bull is, right?
Because you produce that part out because
No, it's part of life. It's part of ag. And they produce
you
lots
make
of
mistakes all the time. Hear that? People make mistakes.
Why is
There's
it
nothing
weird?
wrong with that. So, reported in centimeters. When you look at these EPDs, and you look, let's see where it is.
We're sick.
So, if you look at like number 9 in your packet, pool number 9.
Alright.
Its adjusted scrotal circumference is 40.36.
40.3 centimeters.
Yep, 40.36 centimeters.
Which one?
Pool number
Would that be considered large?
9.
Or average or?
I think that's fairly close to average.
What
Trying
the
to remember
heck?
what it is. It's gonna be
Where's the?
It's in the Angus.
36?
Oh,
Angus, yeah.
But where are you seeing this at?
So look at number 9.
Yeah.
Under individual performance, it says adjusted SC
Oh my God.
40.36.
So like if your adjusted SC is
I give up.
39.
Then the scrotal circumference of
Whoa, this
Why
guy,
did they
9 would be
picture
bigger.
of
he's got
That's what we're
31.
gonna do is have a look down. So right there, adjusted SC.
Is 31 small then?
31 is going to be smaller. So in that instance, if the scrotal circumference is 31 versus the scrotal circumference of 40, so bull A has a scrotal circumference of 31, bull B has a scrotal circumference of 40, bull B's scrotum circumference is going to be
Better.
9 centimeters larger than bull A, right?
But like, why is that better though? Because
Reproduction purposes.
it's more likely to reproduce better.
Yep. All right. So milking ability. The average of 205-day weight of a bull's daughter calves to be able to milk. The milk values depend on the nutritional and the environment. So milking ability has a lot of dependence on what we're feeding our calves or our cows, what kind of environment they're in. So if it's going to be an environment where it's really, really hot, they're not going to milk the same as an environment where it's really cold. And you're going to look at that, when you look at your EPDs, you're going to look at that under the maternal EPD. Did we skip? Oh, we did skip that. Sorry. See, I don't know that I have that in here. CEM is calving ease.
Oh, I remember that one.
Was it in there?
No, CEDs is calving ease.
There's 2 different calving ease.
Calving ease direct. What's calving?
Yep, calving ease direct is CED, and calving, or CEM or MCE, you'll see it either way, is calving E is for the maternal side. So calving E's direct has to deal with the bull. Calving E's for the maternal side has to deal with the calf.
So if you have like a small bull and a really large cow,
You're gonna have some pretty darn good calving E's. Small bull, probably gonna throw a small calf. Large pelvic area on a couch is gonna have a great calving E's. Not gonna have to give her a lot of help, right? Okay, so calving E's, so CEM, calving E's maternal. Or maternal calving E's, you can look at that either way. And that prediction is a prediction of how the sire's daughters will be. So any heifer calf that comes from that particular sire, that's a prediction of how the calving is of that animal. That make sense? Okay. All right, everybody got milk? Almost, okay. All right. Good? There you go. There's your CEM. I just had them out of order.
Are we gonna get done with these today?
We should. And then I've got a little assignment for you to do.
Oh.
It's not hard, I promise.
What is it?
It's comparing two bulls. You have to compare them, and then you have to tell me which bull is better than the other.
It'll help Abby out.
It will. This will be a huge help for you for Lexar, right? Because you actually have to be able to read EPDs. So we went over this already. So in this case, if an EPD were to say that sire A has a maternal calving E's of 7, but sire B has a maternal calving E's of -3, you would expect on average if the comparably mated sire, A's daughter would calve with a 10% more likelihood of being consistent. So the higher the number, make sure I'm reading this right. Yeah, the higher the number, the better the percentage is of the calf being delivered without any assistance. All right, we good? Golden?
Golden?
Okay,
Golden?
so MWW. Which is maternal weaning weight.
Have that, do we?
yeah, on this.
Should be on your second sheet.
It goes 11, 13, 14. Does yours
Oh,
jump?
no. Just got a bad one.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll see that there are different measurements for the different animals. So Simmental, mature weaning weight, M&G, milk and growth, and Herefords. You'll see TM in red Angus. They don't utilize the same exact EPDs for each breed. Did you cut it off on accident? Oh, that's alright. As long as you get it down, that's fine. So this one we're going to look at with heifers. If we're going to look at the bull and how its daughter will perform if you were to keep her in your herd. All right, you good?
Yeah.
Okay. You good, Hunter? Okay. All right. So energy value. You look at cattle. They all have a value associated with them with energy, with what we feed them. Look at this a lot with the Angus breeds. So if you have a lower number, it's going to actually the number, the more money you're going to save, I believe. I believe this one is one that you read backwards.
Why is this so complicated like this?
Cattle industry.
It's complicated.
It's complicated. There's my other one.
What's a good marble one?
A good marbling? Marbling scores, I mean, that's one that's gonna vary by breed. Again, you're gonna want, you don't want too high marbling, but you also don't want too low. You want somewhere in the middle. I'm trying to remember the exact average of marbling. Why don't you look it up for me real quick? Look up and see what average marbling in the cattle industry is. Okay, we're good? On energy value? Yes, no?
Okay, I got it.
Okay. Stability. Rennigus and Simmentals, they utilize this. Most other breeds don't. Predicts the bull's daughter. The probability of the bull's daughter staying in production at least 6 years of age. Okay, so I go back to your energy value. Switch what I said about you want a lower number. You want a higher number for your energy value, because the higher the number, the more savings you're going to have in their ability to convert food to energy.
So what about that?
So the higher the number on energy value, the better off the bull is. Okay, we're good? Carcass traits. So, when we're looking at the meat part of the livestock industry, we like to look at carcass traits. Why do we like to look at carcass traits? So, we want to look at yield grade, quality grade. So yield grade, how much meat the animal's going to yield after it's harvested. Quality grade, what the quality of the beef is. Do you know the different qualities for the beef industry? For steers and heifers? Because there's different ones for cows too, mature cows. So we have prime, choice, and select. left are the main ones that we look at.
Okay.
We also will see standard as well, and those are your really low cut carcasses, your low quality carcasses. Where do you think most cattle fall?
Select.
Somewhere around here. Select your choice. Why do you think that is?
Like
Because prime are like the best.
Prime is the cream of the crop, the best of the best.
The prime.
It's, I think, like 5% of all beef cattle end up in the prime category. This area is very doable at a large scale with feed efficiency and what we're able to feed cattle, because when you look at a feedlot, are you going to be able to change that individual's diet on a day-to-day basis?
It'll be the same thing for everyone.
It's going to be the same thing for every animal that is in a pen. They can change it pen to pen, but they won't change it per animal. So when you look at different carcass EPDs, we've got carcass weights. This is a projection of how heavy the carcass will be at the time of harvest or slaughter. I'll use the word harvest because slaughter is not really the accepted terminology for the animal industry.
It's not that
Sure.
No,
it's not
humane.
It's not politically correct.
Yeah, not politically correct, not the humane way to say that we're utilizing animals for food. Did you find the marbling, the average marbling score on?
No, I could.
You're good.
See how many?
He doesn't. All we have is the paper back there.
Nice. Different?
Good.
No.
Okay. Marbling. Did we already do the marbling one? I think we did. Did we? No, we didn't. Okay.
The difference.
So what is marbling?
It's the consistency of
It's the stuff around, isn't it?
muscle.
The stuff around the muscle or something else?
It's the fat that's in the muscle.
No.
So intramuscular fat. It's when you look at a steak and you see the fat spots, like the white spots and the meat, that's marbling. So the more marbling you have, the better the quality of steak that there is, or the meat there is, because all of your flavor comes from the fat.
Makes sense.
So that you want to have a higher marbling score.
Wait, can you go back to the last one?
Yeah,
please.
absolutely. So, and then, I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit, I believe. Or maybe back.
Can't remember.
No, I don't even have it on there. Percent IMF. It's percent intramuscular fat. That also deals with marbling. When you are reading EPDs, you want to look at the intramuscular fat, and it should produce, if there's a higher intramuscular fat, that's good. Higher percent. That'll always be measured in percentages. Okay? REA, what, do you remember what we said? Well, it's right there.
It's the ribeye.
Ribeye area. Where's the ribeye?
The rib.
Yep, on the rib. Kind of up towards
Towards the eye.
their spine.
Just kidding.
Ribeye is a cut of what? Steak. Ribeye steak. The ribeye is actually the circular part. When you look at a ribeye steak, see that circular part there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's really why, 'cause it's a part of the rib.
So,
That's why they call it a ribeye.
the ribeye, the bigger that area is, usually the more you'll get. That is one where you want to have an in-between. So if you get too big of a ribeye area, your carcass will get too heavy, and then they don't want to utilize it. It's actually discounted.
Yeah, it's not muscular enough.
No, it's a lot of muscle.
Oh.
It just is so big that it's not a premium cut because it is too large. The way we talked about this in my carcass evaluation class was that if you have a really big ribeye and a really big carcass and it doesn't fit in the box, and when you're packaging things, if it's too big, you will actually lose money on it. Because people want good sized ribeye, but they don't want anything that's too big. A good sized cut of meat.
So it's just supply and demand.
A lot of it has to do with supply and demand, absolutely. A lot of it has to do with what the customer wants, what the consumer wants. Alright, next one, fat thickness. This is the fat over the 12th and 13th rib. Why do we look at the 12th and 13th rib? We talked about this yesterday on Thursday a little bit.
Or not Thursday, Wednesday. They didn't do it Thursday. Oh, no, that was Friday.
Yeah, we did it Friday.
I forgot that we had school Friday.
We did have school Friday. So Thursday, we talked about it a little bit. When an animal's harvested, where do we cut there?
We cut it in half.
Yep, we cut it right there. We rib it, is what it's called. We rib them at the 12th and 13th rib in between there. And that's where we'll measure the fat thickness. That's usually where they'll gain most of their fats over those two ribs. Yield grade. This is a prediction of how much a carcass will yield.
Oh my god, I can't.
Okay. You're fine, Abby.
Like, I'm writing it small, like, it's just,
Is this the last one?
yeah.
Okay.
Is it wire lower numbers desirable?
Yes, you go 1 through 5 on yield grades. A 2 is, you want a 2 is really where you want to be at. Because the higher, remember what I said about putting a carcass in a box? That
Yeah.
box becomes too heavy, it gets discounted. What does yield grade have to do with? How much meat is being produced by the animal.
You don't want one.
So you don't want a 5, because a 5 is going to be the production of most of the meat, is where most meat is going to be produced. As where 1 is where you're going to have the lesser amount of meat that's going to be produced from that animal. So a 2 to a 3 is usually where you want to be, because you're not going to be discounted. You're not going to discount that particular carcass. Does that make sense? It's
So, a 5 is a lot or a little?
a 5 is a lot.
So, wouldn't you want to be like a 3 then? It's like, no.
So here's the thing about yield grades. Yield grades, quality grades, marbling, all of that works together to give you the total carcass quality and weight and everything. With yield grade, a 2 is going to give you a more desirable carcass, so carcass quality. There's this whole entire equation that one of my professors at CSU came up with that gives you the quality of the animal, the entire quality of the animal when it's live, with plugging in all these different numbers.
It's too much.
It's a lot, and and it's actually really cool when you get into it. And if you really enjoy looking at your food and everything, and you like seeing where the whole entire chain of from production to the end result of the steak or the hamburger that's on your plate, it's actually really cool to look at. So, all right, that's the last slide. You guys need to pull out these packets. We're gonna take a look at them.
Where's Trey? You know,
So-
oh, he's gone. He left.
Your assignment is going to be comparing two bulls within that packet. They either have to be an Angus and an Angus or a Hereford and a Hereford.
So what?
I don't want you to cross compare
I forgot.
Hereford and Angus.
I forgot Trey left.
You did?
Yeah, he
Okay.
went somewhere.
Sounds good. So, I'm going to look at a couple of bulls. You don't have these bulls, because I have the entire list, so I'm going to do ones that you don't have. So, the ones I'm going to look at are going to be Hereford.
Do we need to write this down or something?
No. I just want you to watch what we're doing. Or, here's a question. Would you rather go over two bulls together that's in your packet and then you pick two others?
I know, just go over.
Just go over like this? Okay. So I'm going to pick a bull that has a CED, which is what?
Calving.
Calving is correct, of plus 3.5. And then I'm also going to look at a bull who has a CED of, so this is going to be bull A. This is going to be bull B. So this one has a CED of plus 2.4. Which one has the better cavities?
Wait.
3.5 by what?
By 1.
1.1. So it's gonna have, I gotta remember what the actual unit is.
So a -7.
So it's gonna have a 1.1% better cavities.
A -7 is not very good cavities.
No. So -7. It's going to be 7% more likely to have calving difficulty than the average. So each breed has their own set of averages. And you can compare a bull to that average, or you compare bulls to each other, like we're gonna do here. So I'm gonna go through a couple more, then you guys are gonna pick two bulls, and you're gonna do the same thing. So I have a birth weight of